everyone, I'm Holly. Welcome to Pack and Chat, part 4. Okay, so this first one is going to a Lexus in Ohio. We have a Juicy soap. And we have the watermelon lemonade soap. So fantastic. Sometimes I get so out of sorts with these videos. I had to bring everything over. I spent the last hour or so just prepping to start the video, and then I still forgot a lot of stuff. So I'm going to just cover those up. Actually, let's do something different. Let's put a little shred down since it's just the 2 soaps. I just love the glitter on this one. I don't know if you can really see how gorgeous it is. I think you can. I'm loving that one. Holy moly. All right, good. Let's do that. And then we're going to put in the invoice to cover up the windows. And then the sample that we're going to put in is a lemon. I mean, we've determined that we like citrus and lemon. So we're going to do that. And let's see, I got my business card in there already. Kind of confuzzled me because I put it right there. There we go. So it's about, well, I guess it is about 5 o'clock. I wanted to film this video at the end of the day, and then I was like, oh man, it's beautiful outside. The husband's gonna try to mow. And if he mows, then that's all we're gonna hear is the mower. So I thought, I will just get to it and get these done. So I still have about 7 orders to pack after this video to reach my quota. I didn't bring my nape gun. This order is going to Stacy in Illinois. Thank you for your order. I am going to put in the eucalyptus cotton first. We have 4 of those. And you all have to tell me what you think about this scent. It's a little unique, which I noted in my description. It definitely has that cotton. It's not just a straight like Vicks Vapro Rub type eucalyptus. My husband really likes it. It says it reminds him of something from like his Navy boot camp days in Great Lakes, but he can't quite place what it is. I'm hoping this is all going to fit. Why do I have light coming through my box? Oh my goodness, there's a little gap there. I'll have to cover those with some tape. So anyway, yeah, it reminds him of something interesting. There you go, like that. And then we have a couple of the lilacs. I just love that label. I love it. I love this soap. Oh man, I love lilacs. And it all kind of began in Montana when I was growing up. We had an amazing lilac bush in our town, our house yard in Ronan. And I'm gonna tuck in a peach salt scrub. And but I don't remember there being just tons and tons of lilacs there. Of course, I moved away from Montana when I was 15. And when we went back in 2017 to take our kids up, it was the end of May and lilacs everywhere. It was so majestic. Oh my goodness, it was majestic. And so I always think about Montana again when I think of my lilac soap, when I sniff the lilac soap. All right, so we're gonna put this one here on the side. This was the candied citrus. And then, yeah, this is going to work. We have a strawberry and champagne, and I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I do not like the font I ended up using just because it had to be so small. And so I really like most of my labels, but I'm just not sold on that one after all. My son said it was epic, and he loved it, and it was his favorite strawberry champagne label I'd ever done. So he was super nice to say that. So I think we got it all in. I'd love to go back to Montana on vacation. Boy, that would be so much fun, and go again when the lilacs are blooming. But I also want to go when the cherries are ready. And at that point, you almost can't find any place to camp. So that's not going to work very well. Okay, so we're going to put in a sweet pea sample and a lemon sample. Speaking of campers, we can't even use it right now because the air conditioner is busted. So we knew that was something that we had to get accomplished soon. My husband's been, you know, looking around and checking with people to see who's the best for working on RVs. And he finally found that, but I think you might remember in the last video I did, I said it was supposed to be pretty warm on Saturday. It was warm. And we also discovered that our house air conditioner is no longer working. So that's just loads of fun. We had it started up at one point, but it is not working now. So I have a guy coming out tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning. And hopefully he can fix the compressor, but this house is 15 years old and we know that we're gonna have to start replacing that stuff. We just didn't want to do it this month. Like, it literally was in the plans, and I was gonna have to make tons of soap to help pay for that, and we just have not, we didn't get that far is what I'm trying to say. So this package is ready to go to Stacy, and I am going to go print its label, and I will come back for another. So this order is going to Lindsay in South Carolina. Thank you for your order, Lindsay. I'm going to put in a Farmhouse coffee, kitchen coffee, and I'm going to wrap it because the coffee is pretty strong. And I don't know how much this actually helps, but in theory it helps a little bit to keep it sent in. But anyway, we'll see. So I hope everybody had a nice weekend. It's Monday for me, so I'm still thinking about the weekend. I was really hoping to have a very calm weekend, but it didn't end up being super calm. And I feel like I still need a rest. So we have a charcoal tea tree and a flannel and amber. I know sometimes on the video that this little image is just kind of like a mishmash, just a splotch, but it's, I don't know, it's like a flannel with trees on the side and everything. It's kind of cute, but you know, it's the best I could come up with. All right, so we got those all in. And then we have all of these fun ones too. So we have Tickled Pink, and this is a love spell type. That's a good one. So we have Eucalyptus Cotton. Let's see, where do I want to put it? I think I'll put it down there. It's a very strong one as well. And then we'll put the Clean Cotton. I just love that blue color. It's so pretty. So on Friday, our son had said that we were down to 2 bales of hay. Well, the grass isn't growing well enough. So he's the one who feeds the cows, and he claims he told us that we needed to buy hay, but neither one of us remember it. But we were getting ready for this release, so we were it was a little chaotic. So we called up to our regular guy. We actually travel about an hour from here to get hay because we like his hay. And he was sold out. So we asked our neighbor with all the horses where they get hay from, and they're like, oh yeah, this guy is right over here. He has hay all the time. He's never been out. Husband calls this guy. Nope, out of hay. Okay. So my husband went into town and saw our neighbor had it was getting lower, but he still had bales in his barn, and called him, and hallelujah, he sold us a couple of round bales. So that's cool. So I'm gonna put in a river rock and a watermelon. That drought we had last summer, it really hurt the area for hay production and everything. And so, I mean, we started feeding hay in July last year, and normally we start hay in October. So it was kind of a rough year on the hay front. But now we have these big bales, and so he got them on the trailer and was able to just, with my son, was able to just roll it into the field. So it was there, but cows will just make a mess of a round bale without a feeder, a hay feeder. It's like, you know, metal that goes around it. So he had to go buy one of those and was able to put it together. But we still have one round bale just dropped in our yard. That's gonna be interesting, but it'll get the job done. So that will be fine. And then our Riggies, he was, oh goodness, if you follow along on Instagram stories, you know Riggies is just a hot mess. Just a hot mess. And he had a hard weekend too. Plus the full moon had things weird. The animals were weird. Like all of our animals, every single one of our animals was weird on Saturday. And on Friday, my husband had gone out to pick up a Sam's Club order, and there was some dude standing in the road. It's just a county highway that doesn't have any shoulder, and he was like trying to hit people with a big stick. So my husband had to dodge this guy from hitting our Suburban. It's just been weird. This order is going to Sheila in North Carolina. Thank you for your orders. We're actually combining a couple. I was going through my list and I happened to notice that she'd placed another order this weekend. So yay, we're getting them combined. Always take a glove to tighten these. It just gives you a really good grip for tightening. Make sure those are good and ready to go. And then I package them in a little baggie in case they happen to leak. So Riggs, you may remember, he was in a lot of pain this weekend, but you may remember from the vlogs I did in December, and some of my soap making videos do have a link to them. I don't think all the videos do. Anyway, the one where we walked down the driveway and looked at the Christmas lights, I mentioned that Riggs wasn't coming with me because his foot was sore. Well, that was just the beginning. That was just when all heck broke loose. So we've been through a lot. He's had a lot of ups and downs. I know a lot of you ask about him quite a bit. I even got an order today that said, from Leslie, saying I was thinking about Riggs. All right, actually, let's put the soaps on the bottom. So we have a couple of the watermelon soaps. So cute. Everybody loves this watermelon fragrance. I had one of my amazing customers, longtime customer, send me an email and told me that the watermelon is just spectacular. So I'm just so excited that everybody likes it. So then we have a coffee shop wax melt and a peach wax melt. I would tell you about Riggs, but I'm sitting here thinking that I wouldn't be able to get through. I mean, I'll be way done packing this order before I get through the story about Riggs. But the update on Riggs is he still can't walk on his leg. He still has the nerve damage, and he's got a lot of muscle loss at this point because it's been since Christmas time that he hurt his shoulder. So it's been a long time, but he's, I guess if you want to listen, fine. But if you don't want to listen, skip forward. Anyway, I'll try to make it short. So he had some sores on his foot. Those were almost treated, but he was still kind of limping around. And he fell in a mole hole. And that gave him the nerve damage. And then he couldn't walk. He was just like hanging. And so he knuckles over all the time. He doesn't ever walk on his paw. So dealing with that, he couldn't hold himself up very well to go potty, so he got a urinary tract infection. And that got so bad that we're like, you know, of course it's Christmas time, and we're trying, fresh linen, we're trying to get him into the vet. I think it was actually New Year's by then. So we're trying to get him into the vet. He finally gets into the vet after New Year's, and she gives him steroid shots and everything. Great. Then he crashed from the steroids because Riggs apparently can't have prednisone. So he crashed, like we thought he was dead. We all gathered outside and we told him goodbye, and then we loved him. And then he went to the vet, and he was at the vet for 4 days, just on IV. They couldn't figure out really what was going on with him other than he crashed from the steroids. So he was off all medication. So we're like, yay, we've been referenced to go to, because he, you know, he recovered from that. He perked back up. So we were referenced to go to an ortho vet in Branson, and we had to wait a week and a half for that. We got him to the vet, and he put him in a splint. He'd already been in a splint off and on with our regular vet. Got him into the splint. He was in it for almost a week. He was supposed to be in it for 2 weeks. And we noticed he was bleeding from the splint. And so my husband immediately cut it all off. And we come to find out he had foot rot, and all of his pads had worn off because apparently he's a heavy sweater. So there was that. So in the meantime of us trying to heal his feet, he's sitting here like bonking everything on the brick. He's bleeding. He's a crime scene. Of course, this is all downstairs. Upstairs is very clean. I am a germaphobe, so you don't have to worry about anything. I'm always very clean when I come up here. And I actually make a point to not really, I pet my dogs and stuff, but I don't pick up anybody until the end of the day when we're not going to be up here. I don't really cuddle them. I pet them and I speak to them. So those are all in. So anyway, there was that. And then he started having some lumps, and we're thinking, we think his lymph nodes are swelling because of all the cuts. So we call the vet, and they, okay, bring him back in. And the vet's like, well, we're afraid he has cancer. Okay, that's shocking. And he's like, well, let's wait a couple of weeks and see if it goes down, or we can biopsy. And my husband's like, no, you're going to do it today. So we waited a week, came back, no cancer, but showed an allergic reaction. So what did they try to do? Cut him on prednisone. And so he just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Like his eyelid was almost swollen shut. He just had these huge lumps all over his body. Finally, got sick and tired of this process. Took him back to our regular vet, who thinks she figured it out, and it's cutaneous histiocytosis, I think is what it's called. And basically it's like a version-ish of lupus that caused all of this to happen. So now he is on a steroid, but it's the dexamethasone, and he can tolerate that one somewhat. I mean, he's still struggling to go potty. He can't literally go, and so he stands out there for 10 minutes. It's not fun for him. I'm gonna put in a strawberry rhubarb pie and a peach. I probably shouldn't have spent all this time, should I have? But I know so many of you love and care for Riggs. So anyway, he's on that. He's finally doing a lot better. Our vet is working with a derm vet, and they tried to get the biopsy results and found out that the person at the university didn't even do a full panel like we paid for. So right now they're back with the Branson vet trying to get permission to take over the biopsy stuff and have a full panel done to make sure that we have them on the right stuff. But in the meantime, the foot still worked. So I don't know. So this one is going, Sheila, I hope you like dogs, since I use this as my whole story. Anyway, that's the story with Riggs. It's the reason why we didn't have a release until late, because it's been very stressful and he has to be monitored all the time. So somebody has to keep an eye on the big boy. So if we could just get him fixed up and start working and focusing on building his strength in his leg, he might be okay. But in the meantime, it's been almost 4 months with this boy. All right, so this was the final order for this release unpacking video. I'm gonna go let my husband know that the mowing can proceed. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Hi, Biggies. Here he comes. Do you have a stick? You do? You have a stick? Maverick, do you have a stick? Shelby. Shelby. Why won't you look at me? What are you doing? The lilacs are budding out. Look at that. Oh, I can't wait to have lilacs, and we just need to do a whole bunch of weeding. It is time. We need to emerge from our winter slumber and kind of get things looking better. Yay, I can't wait. We have some daffodils. I'm so surprised they're actually going to bloom this year. And then down here we have, I think it's redbud, I guess. And this is where the water overflows every time we get a really good rain. And then down here at the end, I probably am not going to go all the way down there because I'm getting ready to hoof it through the fields for just a little bit. But we have, what's that, a pear, I do believe. See if I can zoom a little bit. There we go. Anyway, we have a pear blooming out. It's not a fruitful pear. It's one of those fruitless pears. There's the hay bale I was telling you about. Hi, T-Bone. You waiting for dinner? Here comes Brisket. Hi. Hey, Beans. Hi. Alright, I'm just gonna walk up here by you. Don't be sissy. Bye. Ooh, look at the pretty flowers. I found more flowers. Look how cute those little things are. So this is not our property here on the other side of the fence, but the cows come down and visit our cows. And then straight down that away is our corner post. So we have some woods. And then we have this beautiful field up here. And the cows do spend most of their time up here. And then there's our internet tower. I just love it through here. The cedars smell so good. Hi, Beanies. I'm coming up behind you, dude. Do not be afeared. Do not be afeared. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hi, Beastie. Coming in for a sniffy? I don't have any treats. I don't. I don't have any treats this time.
Don't want to show the internet my handsome mug.
You're pretty handsome. They sure make a mess of the hay.